Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB closing time show for Wednesday, June 9th. Ian Cameron and Conor Mack ready to break down this Wednesday MLB slate. Glad you are joining us and tuned in. As always, great to be here, ready to break down this Wednesday card. Let's get to it. We got some afternoon action. We started off with the San Francisco Giants and the Texas Rangers. Had a little bit of a change with the Giants in terms of their starting pitcher in this game. It was going to be Sam Long making his major league debut. Not the case anymore. Now we are talking about Zach Littell on the mound here today, making this start for the Giants. Kyle Gibson for the Rangers. Even money, the price here in this game, the total 8 shaded to the under. I like the way Gibson's pitched this year. Don't get me wrong, 2.06 ERA, no question about that. But here we are again where the price has been adjusted to how good Gibson's been. I mean, this is a bad Texas Rangers team. Bad Texas team that is actually a slight favorite in this game. I ain't backing Texas as a slight favorite. They could have, Tom Seaver. They could have Sandy Koufax. They could have David Cohn in his front. They could have anybody in terms of an elite pitcher you can think of from the past on the mound. And I don't think I could get there laying a price with them as a small favorite right now because they're dreadful. Their lineup can't be trusted. Their bullpen, we saw what they did last night. Absolutely brutal. Coughed up a lead in the last couple innings. And they're just a bad baseball team. Littell's nothing to write home about. So it's not like I'm going to be anxious to back the Giants here. But, man, you're paying the premium for Gibson being good. That's the problem. So I'm off this game entirely. I would actually lean to the over slightly, just especially maybe an in-game over because, look, these two bullpens are shaky, and Texas's bullpen is just horrendous. So you could get runs late if you don't get them early. What do you think here, Conor?
Yeah, Gibson's been phenomenal all year. I'd lean the first 5 under 4. I'm probably not going to play this one. Littell's just going to give a few innings. He's been great out of the bullpen. His ERA is 1.63. He's got 14 Ks, but he's not a starter. That's why he's out there. He couldn't cut it as a starter. So he'll throw a few. But like you said, Gibson's last start was good against the Rays, and he's been good all year. So that's why I lean the first 5 under 4 here at even money. You can probably get 4.5 at minus 125 or so. I'm going to stay off. But if I still were to go, it's difficult. The Giants are just too good to me all year, first 5, whether it's just I take them first 5 or a half a run. Gibson's only faced a few of these Giants. Tauchman, 0 for 7. Buster Posey, 0 for 5. Just a few guys. No hits. Few at-bats. Maybe the Rangers. I just don't want them at, minus 105, minus 110 here. If they were getting plus 120, be interesting here with Gibson, I think. But not at minus 108. It's going to be a pass for me.
All right, next up, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks, Oakland Athletics. Matt Peacock here for the Diamondbacks, Sean Manaea for the Oakland Athletics. We've got the A's here around a minus 220, a home favorite, 8.5 the total in this game. I'm considering over 8.5 here in this game for a bunch of reasons. Number one is I don't trust Brad Peacock. Here for their Matt Peacock, I should say, for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 4.68 ERA for him. Nothing to write home about. He's okay. He's not great. I think Oakland should be able to do some damage against him here a little bit. But on the flip side, look, Manaea has been lights out his last 4 starts. He's been absolutely magnificent. But be careful. Manaea has struggled against the Diamondbacks in the past. I remember he faced them I think earlier this year, and he really had a tough time against them. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are hitting lefties beyond good right now. Absolutely fantastic against lefty pitching. Their last 10 games, they're like a 352 batting average as a team and 9 runs per game against lefties. So be careful with that. The wind's blowing out significantly, really significantly at the Coliseum this afternoon. You look at the wind, 15 miles per hour straight out to center field for a day game here, early start in the Coliseum here in the Bay Area in Oakland. So I'm definitely leaning hard over the only thing I'm concerned about is Manea's current form, which is off the charts good. He's got a 1.67 ERA his last 4 starts combined. That's damn good. That's a track record that I'm not 1.69, ERA in his last 4 starts. Excellent current form, but he struggled against Arizona, and this team mashes lefties. So I don't think he's going to be able to just go cruise through this lineup because he hasn't shown me evidence before he can do that. So, and I do think Oakland will score some runs too off Peacock and a very bad Arizona bullpen. So I like over 8.5 here in this one, and the wind conditions certainly support the over this afternoon. What do you think here, C-Mac? Diamondbacks, A's.
Yeah, the wind does also. They have good numbers against Manaea. We talked about it yesterday. I still went with the over, and man, the D-backs had a ton of guys on early and couldn't get. They got one running. They could have scored 4 easily.
Bassett with the Houdini act early.
Yep, and Peacock should get hit here. I don't want the A's minus 200. Maybe team total. It's a little higher today. It's like 135. But yeah, Reddick's 5 for 12. Marte 4 for 10. Escobar 3 for 4. Ahmed 2 for 5. So some guys that have hit him. But his form's been phenomenal. Like you said, the last 4 starts, he's got like a 1.69 ERA. I'm just going to stay off. I lean the over 8.5. With that wind blowing out, that's pretty big. And the D-backs in a kind of an over team. They didn't get there yesterday. I think it could get there today. But you're right. If Manaea is dealing, could be. But D-backs have hit lefties. So this is a very, very tricky one. I mean, I'd lean the over 8.5 minus 120. I'm probably not going to get to the window.
Yeah, I think I will with the over here. And I know Manaea's form's great right now, but sometimes this is just a team he's had a tough time with, Arizona, in the past.
Yeah,
he's struggling. That's the strength. Yep, is definitely hitting lefties. So, yeah, Jesse Blanchard in the chat asking Braves games thoughts. This is a disclaimer for Jesse, everyone in the future. You don't need to ask about what do we think of a specific game. We go through every single game on the board every day on this. That's what makes this show special. Pub Sports Radio, MLB Closing Time. We break down every single game every day. Same with Jimmy's show, which precedes us. Every single game, we discuss it and we break it down in depth. So no need to ask which games, if it's about a specific game. We will get to all of them each and every day. That is what we do here on the MLB Closing Time show. Cubs and Padres. We've got Jake Arrieta and Yu Darvish. Darvish and the Padres minus 220 to minus 230. Home favorites, 8 the total, shaded to the under. I'm on the over full game here and a little Padres team total over as well, which is 4.5 in this game. Yeah, Arrieta's just on a downward trajectory, and his season's fallen off a cliff as far as I'm concerned. It's not been very pretty for him in recent outings, and that's putting it mildly. Arrieta struggling mightily in his last few starts. We'll have to wait and see if that bad run continues here going into this one. Darvish on the other side has been really good, but the Cubs do know him a little bit. You know, we're talking about a guy that pitched there, and sometimes that's an advantage for the hitters. So I'm not saying that he's going to get crushed today, but I don't think he's going to completely roll over and dominate this Cubs lineup. And look, the Cubs are hitting right now, to be honest with you. They are definitely in a situation here where, you know, the Cubs lineup has really been pretty solid in their last few road games during this current road trip. I do have a little bit of a knowledge of Yu Darvish, so I do think the over 8's in play here. I've been going back to it here in this series with the over. First game got there. Yesterday was a push. And I think today maybe there's a chance for them to get some runs. You're right. If they couldn't hit Zach Davies concerns me. Believe me, I understand that. But I think it's a bounce back. The one thing about the Padres is they're usually good bouncing back after a really rough day at the plate. I think they can do that here against Arrieta. But I think the Cubs can scratch out a few runs against Yu Darvish, even though he's been awesome. You know, that familiarity with him should help. So I like the over, and I'm going to, better or worse, I'm taking a shot here with San Diego team total over. Like, they're not going to be shut down and held to 1 run every day. The lineup on paper is good enough against mediocre pitching to get, you know, themselves to 5 runs. I think they get that here today in this game. It's certainly off a bad loss, getting blown out last night by the Cubs too. I think their offense does wake up and respond today. What do you think here, Conor? Cubs, Padres?
Yeah, well, Padres offense wake up here. It's all about Arrieta. He's got rocked lately. Right away, I look at it, the first 5 innings under 4.5. I'm worried the Padres could get to Arrieta. But like you said, Davies shut him out. I had the Cubs first 5, plus 185. That was great. They won. I thought there was a ton of value. I still think there's a little value on the Cubs. But with Arrieta, I can't do it. The Padres have won 11 of Darvish's 12 starts. I think the Padres bounce back too. I just don't know here if I want to take them run line, their team total. They haven't scored any runs, so I can't go their team total over 4.5. Like they got to hit, I think, Arrieta. Just a difficult one. I'm thinking about it. Some guys had some success off Darvish. The Cubs, they all got a few hits. Bryant 2 for 6, 3 for 7. Rizzo 2 for 5. Not a whole big sample size. And they haven't really ripped. Will Myers is a 5 for 9 with a jack. Machado 2 for 7. Small against Arrieta as well. So I lean Padres, probably a run line to bounce back. I just don't love this game here. I'm probably going to pass.
Yeah, definitely no bargains here with the Padres, and that's often the case with Darvish.
That's
on the front.
Yeah.
Yep. Mets and Orioles. Taijuan Walker, Matt Harvey here. We've got the Mets open minus 150 in this game. They're down to minus 125, minus 130 now in this game. Walker against Harvey. The total right now in this game settling around 9.5. Very, very good decision by me to double up last night with the Mets and the Orioles over the total, first 5 innings and full game. That came through very nicely as both Peterson and Zimmerman, the two lefties, get rocked in that game. We'll see if the Orioles with the big win yesterday as well against the New York Mets. And now we've got obviously Taijuan Walker, who's had an amazing season for the New York Mets, no question. But he's one of those guys that's on that, we were talking about it last night in the Discord. We're talking about it, the last few days, this spin rate situation here with the foreign substances and now the crackdown maybe on that. And guess who relies on spin rate quite a bit? Yeah, Taijuan Walker. So something to keep an eye on here. I'm not rushing to lay a price with Walker in this start. I do think the Mets hit Harvey because, look, Harvey's just not any good. And prior to this story coming out, I'd probably be all over the Mets here. Now I'm a little bit reluctant. I want to see how Walker does here. If he's one of those candidates in the spin rate category that we've been talking about here the last couple of days. So the over again is where I would lean here in this game, but maybe more so Mets team total over. Don't have to worry about Walker. I'd rather just see what he does here against Baltimore. He still pitched really, really well, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him pitch well again, but I'm just going to ease up back a little bit. And we do see a ton of money on Baltimore. So maybe the betting markets are concerned that Walker, a guy that's, a big spin rate guy, could be negatively impacted by this little controversy and this little shitstorm that started up. What do you think here, Conor? Mets, Orioles?
Yeah, we'll see the whole thing with Walker and the spin rate. Like his K-prop today's 4.5 and just minus 105. You think he could get there, but who knows? I'm gonna go with the Mets. I haven't bet it yet, but that's what's got me pumping the brakes, just like you said. And can the Mets even hit Harvey? Because if I'd want him here, not only would I take him first 5, I'd try to go half a run. But their offense is just dreadful. The Orioles scored a ton of runs yesterday. Who knows what they have left in him? I think Walker bounces back. Didn't have a horrible start against the Padres, but it wasn't great. I'd only be on the Mets here a little bit. First 5, maybe. First 5, half a run, you could get plus money with it. I lean that way. And I was taking a look at the first 5 under 5.5. And we talked about the spin rate with these pitchers. I think totals, games are going to start going over a little bit. They already have. But I'm going to be leery of them. But when I start to see bigger ones like this, 5.5, 6s, it's a chance to take some unders. I think you could get in the first 5 innings.
All right,
Harvey can do. Harvey's so horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly.
He did all right.
That's why I like the
pitch.
total.
At times.
Yeah.
If they got to hit, though, God, I can't trust them to hit. Fuck.
That's right. That's the problem. Sometimes you get games where the Mets should be able to hit just terrible pitching, and it doesn't always happen. Hopefully, it does here because that's the way I would that's the angle I'd probably go with here is Mets team total. Atlanta, Philadelphia, Tucker Davidson, Zach Eflin, your pitching matchup here. Philadelphia minus 140. Home favorites here, 9.5 the total in this game. This is a tricky one for me. Tucker Davidson, 2.31 ERA, spot starter for the Braves. Zach Eflin, 4.1 ERA, but a guy that we usually like to trust a lot more at home as opposed to on the road. The Braves get the win over the Phillies last night. It's a pretty decent bounce back spot for the Phillies. Problem is their lineup's sketchy. They're against lefties in particular. We don't always know what we're going to get from this Phillies team against that side. That does concern me going into this matchup here tonight against the Atlanta Braves. But again, Eflin, has done decently against the Braves in the past. 3.41 ERA, 6-3 record 239 batting average against facing this Braves team. So I do lean Philadelphia here, but they're just not the kind of team I'm interested in this kind of price range here. Minus 140 seems like a little pricey, a little too pricey for me on Eflin and the Phillies here in this game. What do you think here, Connor, Atlanta and Philly?
Yeah, that's how I think of it. I think it's just a little bit too pricey. Eflin's been a lot more dominant at home. The Braves have pretty good numbers off him. And he's got the long ball against these Braves. Freeman, Swanson's got a couple. Of course, Acuna's got one. Albies, bunch of guys got homers off him. So this one's tough. We went with the Braves last minute, first 5. I don't know here. I'm probably going to stay off this one. I just don't love it with Davidson. I don't know what we're going to get. Probably a game I'm going to stay off. The Phillies maybe should bounce back. Eflin's been so good at home. I don't want to lay minus 130, and there's no way I'm going to take them run line today. So I'm probably going to pass. Maybe, no, I don't even think this game gets over. I don't even know. I'm talking now out of my ass, so pass.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get doing that, exactly. Once you circles, talking in circles, talking in riddles, it means that's a game you shouldn't be betting.
Get out of here.
Exactly right.
What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, exactly. On to the next one, which is what we're doing now. Dodgers, Pirates, Gonsolin, Anderson, your pitching matchup here. Dodgers road favorites here in that minus 170 to minus 180 range in this one. Total 9 across the board. Tyler Anderson, I believe, is another one on that list of the spin rate guys. So keep that in mind going into this start this afternoon or tonight rather against the Dodgers. Looks like Tony Gonsolin out of the bullpen, expected to make a spot start here in this one for the Dodgers. We'll see how that ends up going for him, but definitely, not going to probably have a big leash. You're going to see probably a lot of different arms coming out of that bullpen behind him tonight in this game against the Pirates. Don't really have a strong opinion on this game really either way. Good call by Conor yesterday with the under first 5 innings with the Dodgers and Pirates last night. I think we might see some runs here today. I just don't know if I want to go over this kind of number. But again, with these guys that are on this list, Anderson, I'm trepidatious with all of them today and moving forward. So I would lean over and pretty much when any one of those guys is on the mound, talking about these guys embroiled in this little spin rate situation and taking away their edge potentially, that could be a spot where I'm looking over the total more than anything else. So I do lean to the over a little bit here. Connor, what do you think, Dodgers and Pirates?
You got Tony Gonsolin, this first start of the year, the Catman. He had a rough end of the year last year in the postseason, but the guy's got pretty good stuff, and he's an innings eater. He threw well in AAA. I think he'll go 5 innings tonight, right around 80 pitches. We'll see with Anderson. He's got some success against the Dodgers. Of course, lefty, they've always had a little bit of trouble, but Justin Turner's ripped him. I wanted to look. I was looking at this earlier this morning. He's 15 for 31, 4 doubles and a homer. And shout out to Max Muncy, 3 for 6 with 2 homers. Max, so make sure you got Max Muncy, which I'm sure he will. Maxwell Smart, but got to have Max Muncy today, 3 for 7 with 2 jacks. I think they get to Anderson at some point. I'd like Dodgers here. I don't know if I want to lay the run line. It's minus 115, but I lean that way here.
All right, we got Houston and Boston. Jake Odorizzi, Nate Eovaldi, Boston minus 140 to minus 150 here in this game currently. Home favorites, the total 10, pretty much across the board. I do think we could see runs here. It's a high number. You're not getting a bargain necessarily, but high total of 10. But Odorizzi, I don't trust him one bit. This will be his 3rd start since returning from the injured list. 7.16 ERA this season, which is absolutely nothing to write home about. He only went 3 innings against the Red Sox when they just faced off in Houston last week. 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, bad control, bad command. He's just a broken down pitcher at this point in time, Odorizzi. He's had injuries. He's been bounced from team to team. He didn't look good at all in his first start or his first few starts back. Last start, he struggled with his command. 4.84 ERA against the Red Sox, 6.26 ERA at Fenway, which isn't any good. I mean, definitely, this was like a candidate for Boston to hit this guy tonight, I should say. I expect them to do that. Eovaldi on the mound for the Red Sox. He's actually pitched decently against the Astros in the past. His home ERA, though, has not been as good this year. You look at it. On the road, he's pitched well this year. His home ERA, though, is 4.47, so a huge jump. Almost over 2 runs higher is his home ERA than his road ERA this season. So that could be some trouble here for Eovaldi as well. The Astros lineup, obviously, just absolutely hammered Martin Perez last night in that game. And I was worried about that. I'm like, second look here for this team against Perez. Watch them absolutely smash. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Like I said, I would look over the total or nothing. I don't love either side. I think Boston deserves to be favored, but minus 140, I don't know if I'll get to them at that price. But I think the over 10 does get there. What do you think, C-Mac? Astros, Red Sox.
Yeah, I think the price is too big with Eovaldi at minus 135, minus 140. I kind of would lean Astros a little bit, maybe first 5 plus money here, just a tad bit. I think we see runs as well. Odorizzi did all right his last start against the Red Sox. He gave 3 runs in a little over 3 innings. I mean, I guess you call that all right for him. He's been so horrible all year. 0-3, over 7 ERA. I think there's more runs here today. I lean the full game over 10. Team totals, Astros over 4.5, minus 105. The Red Sox is 5.5. The plus money I have, plus 115. I lean over, and I lean Astros if I were to take this. I've kind of liked them first 5 a lot. I couldn't go full game with them. I just hope they get some runs off of Eovaldi, but I'm probably going to stay off this game.
Yeah, we've got Jack of the Day candidates for me in this game. Obviously, these are the games that I like over. Are usually the games where I'm going to like more home run props.
Both
and I
teams,
like JD
great.
Martinez, yeah, for the Red Sox, and I like Jose Altuve for the Astros against Eovaldi. 5 for 15 and 2 home runs for Jose Altuve against Eovaldi. So those are 2 to target.
Good averages,
quite possibly. In that game, no question. Seattle, Detroit, Flexen and Mize, your pitching matchup here. Detroit about minus 130 to minus 135 home favorites. The total 8.5 up to 9. I'm a little surprised the total's gone up. I know it's a hot steamer of a day in Detroit and most areas in the Northeast, but I'm not betting overs with Casey Mize right now. Holy mackerel, this guy's been terrific, and he's really starting to evolve into one of their better pitchers. He went 7 innings against the White Sox. 5 hits, 3 runs in that game, but still pitched really well against a pretty tough lineup. He hasn't given up more than 3 runs, since way back in late April. So that's a good sign. He's given up 6 runs and 6 runs over his last 5 starts combined, allowed by Casey Mize. He's just in very good form right now. I like Detroit first 5 here. Just first 5. I don't want any part of Detroit's bullpen. But first 5 innings, I think, gets there. Flexen, he's been okay at times, but he's not the better of these 2 pitchers. Seattle's lineup, sketchy against pitchers that can, they swing and miss a lot. Mize can induce those kind of swings from the lineup right now with the way he's been dealing the last 4 or 5 starts. I think Detroit gets the lead in the early portion of the game. So I like Detroit here, first 5 innings. Connor, what do you think here? Mariners, Tigers.
Yeah, I lean the Tigers a little bit as well. Mize has pitched really, really well lately, and he just last time against these Mariners went 7 2/3 and pitched really, really well. He gave a 1 run, almost went 8. And Flexen, here's the key. I was looking at the first 5 under 4.5. It's even money. Probably going to get 5s at minus 125. He's so bad on the road. He's so much different at home. At home against the A's, he pitches well, or on the road, then he goes on the road, he gets rocked. I remember that Padres start was horrible. His splits are so bad. I can't go with the first 5 under 4.5 here. I lean Tigers early. Mize has pitched really well. Maybe starting to feel it. All the hype for him was maybe a little bit too big. Now he's settling in. I'm with you. If I were to bet anything here, I'd be on Tigers, and I'd be on them early, first 5.
All right, good stuff. And how about those red-hot Milwaukee Brewers, man? 13-3 in their last 16 ball games coming into tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. Hell of a run. They're now right atop the Central. They've closed the gap on the Cubs for first in that division. So it's been quite the run for the Brewers. They'll try to keep it going tonight as they take on the Cincinnati Reds with the old veteran lefty Brett Anderson on the mound, taking on, it looks like it's Gutierrez here for the Cincinnati Reds, Vladimir Gutierrez. That'll be his third career start tonight. We've got the price here has Milwaukee currently at around, actually Cincy now, slight home favorites, -120. The total 10 in this game. Brett Anderson, 4.25 ERA in his career against the Reds. We'll see how he fares here in this one. Last start against the Diamondbacks, 3 runs, 8 hits, 4.1 innings. Not particularly effective in that game. The Reds probably should be able to do a little bit of damage here against Brett Anderson. You look at the career numbers, a couple guys have hit him well, especially Castellanos, 7 for 19 and a home run, 368 average against Brett Anderson. So that's someone that could definitely target him. 2 for 5 and a home run for Winker against Brett Anderson as well. On the flip side, we got Vladimir Gutierrez here for the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers have not faced him, so that's usually an advantage for the pitcher going into this start. But he pitched up pretty good in his last outing against the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 runs, 3 hits, 5 innings, pretty decent. You'd like to see him pitch deeper into the game than that, but that's the issue right now. They need a little bit more length from him. The bullpen, has pitched a lot so far in this series, and even more yesterday with Sonny Gray. He had to leave that game because of tightness in his groin. So that bullpen was really, really overused yesterday for the Reds. And they're going to need some length out of Gutierrez tonight. The question is, are they going to get it? I'm not so sure. This total's gone up. I don't hate the over. It's pretty high now, though, at 10. And I don't know what the Brewers necessarily are going to do against Gutierrez early in the game. So this is a tough one for me. I think the Reds team total over could be a look. I know the Brewers are red hot right now, but maybe the Reds team total over could be a look here in this one against Brett Anderson, because I do think they'll have some success tonight facing the veteran lefty. What do you think here, Connor?
Yeah, they haven't had a ton of success off Anderson. A few guys do. Castellanos, 7 for 19 with a homer. A few other guys. The Reds didn't hit yesterday. Not at all, and they had great numbers and didn't get anything done off Hauser. Maybe they burst out today. I'm not sure. Brewers games have all first 5 unders have been great for me. They were last night. I didn't take it. I don't know about here, but it's a 5.5 at even money. It caught my eye a little bit. I think Anderson can give a few good innings. Gutierrez did well after he had that last start. He had like a 30-pitch first inning. After that, he settled in against the Cardinals and pitched well. Can he do that again? I'm not so sure. The Reds are a tough team to trust. They go on these little win streaks. They swept the Cardinals, then they'll lose 3 straight at home. I think there's a little value on the Brewers. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but like a +110 here with them. They've been really hot. I kind of stick with them in this game. So I'd lean Brewers a little bit here.
Yeah, the Reds were disappointing yesterday. Didn't hit Hauser a lick. Winker, no home run, because I love that prop, and he got shut down. So tough night for the Reds. That's why I'm reluctant. They should hit Anderson a bit, but they didn't hit Hauser, and I thought they would. So that gives you a little pause there when you see that. Colorado, Miami, just briefly, Gomber, I don't trust him one bit. He comes into this start 4.12 ERA. He's also on that spin rate list where you worry about whether he'll be affected negatively by that by what's going on with that. He's a guy that relies on the spin rate for a lot of his success. That could be hampered here. Maybe you go Miami team total over. That maybe the Marlins can take advantage of that. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know who the pitcher is going to be for Miami, so I'll just focus on Gomber. I don't trust him. I would find a way to bet against him here tonight in this game and lean a little bit toward Miami team total over. Connor, any thoughts here?
No, I don't know who's pitching for the Marlins, and I definitely, even against Gomber, I couldn't take their team total right now. I can't trust the Marlins. Marlins don't trust me either betting on them. So for right now, I'm gonna stay far away.
All right, good stuff. Looks like Razor Sharp liking the Brewers. This is Gambler's First Glance, which you can now find here on the Pub Sports Radio YouTube channel.
Right on.
The Brewers. So you got a 13.
Take a look.
At even money, 13-3 in their last 16 games, the Brewers, and they're even money. So you could probably do a lot worse than taking a shot with them today. Next up, we've got Washington and Tampa Bay. Patrick Corbin, Shane McClanahan, 2 lefties on the mound here. Tampa Bay minus 160, home favorites, total 7.5. You know what? I love Tampa Bay. They're certainly the better of these two teams. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be favored by this kind of price, but one team hits lefties, the other doesn't. And the team that hits lefties is the big underdog here. It's Washington. They do much better against lefties. And Tampa Bay is not hitting a lefty right now. That's starting to become an issue for them. And they face some guys that you think, man, they should be able to hit some of these guys, and they can't. So it's becoming a problem for this lineup a little bit. Now, the question is, can Patrick Corbin be that lefty to keep the Blues going, so to speak, for the Tampa Bay lineup against lefties? That's the question. You look at it, some of these numbers, Manny Margot, who had a home run last night, 7 for 24, 292 average against Corbin. Austin Meadows, 3 for 6. That's really the only significant sample size of anybody from the Rays against Patrick Corbin. Corbin's been one of those guys that when he's on, he's on. When he's not, he is not. That's been the kind of season it's been for Patrick Corbin throwing for the Washington Nationals. We'll see how he fares here tonight in this one. But I'll tell you what, right now, the Rays have shown me enough futility against lefties that if you want to take a shot here with Washington, I don't think it's the worst thing you could do in this game. What do you think, Connor? Rays? Nah.
I will. The Rays are a better team here, but I think this is a good shot. They don't hit lefties that well. It was interesting. Corbin's K props 5.5 plus 100. I thought it'd be 4.5. It's a little interesting. All the strikeout the Rays do against lefties. That might be a look, but I'd be on the Nats first 5. You're getting almost plus 150 with Corbin. Yeah, can he be on? He's been up and down all year. It's been difficult. And Rays, one of my favorite teams to bet, but not right here. McClanahan minus 160. I just like the Nats here. I think they could maybe hit him. They hit lefties pretty well. I think it's a good spot to get in, maybe get a few runs and cash a first 5 here, almost plus 150.
All right, we've got the next game, Toronto Blue Jays, Chicago White Sox. Alek Manoah, one great start, one brilliant dominant start, and one rough one where he lost the strike zone in his second start. Which one will show up tonight? He takes on Lance Lynn for the White Sox. White Sox minus 160, home favorites, 8 the total. First 5 under certainly stands out to me in this game. We saw 1-0 between these two teams last night after the first 5 innings with Ray and with Rodon on the mound in that start. I think we get a first 5 under here tonight as well. I think Manoah bounces back. I think Manoah pitches better. As long as he doesn't have command and control issues, he can go out there and dominate. And look, the White Sox do strike out. And Robbie Ray proved that last night. And look, got to stop talking about the White Sox being this, team to fear against lefties. I know they won last night, but they did all the damage and run scoring late in the game, after Robbie Ray already left. So all of a sudden they're human again when facing lefty pitching. When you look at this start, I think Manoah can pitch well. As long as he has that command and control in place, I think he'll be fine. And there's been nothing but fine out of Lance Lynn this season for the White Sox. He continues to be just terrific, dominant, consistent. I think that continues tonight. Again, you saw a 1-0 game with these two teams after the first 5 innings last night. I think we'll see a low-scoring start tonight. So definitely interested first 5 innings here tonight. Blue Jays and White Sox, first 5 under. Connor, what do you think here? Chicago, Toronto.
Yeah, you nailed it. I got it. I think Manoah pitches better here. I hope so. And my guy Lance Lynn, the Bulldog, 7-1, 1.23 ERA. I lean the first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. I think it's a good look as well. Maybe the Blue Jays here, first 5 plus 140. Lynn's just a huge number because how great he's been. Maybe the Blue Jays can get a few runs across if you like it. We'll see what Manoah does. Let's see how he comes back after he just didn't have it. He didn't have his command. Was walked a few guys, gave up a few jacks. So we'll see if he comes back. It's an intriguing game, and I'll be watching it. But I lean under first 5 here, and I think there's a little value with the Jays, especially first 5. Manoah's dealing, and they can get a couple runs.
I lean Jays first 5 as well, and it's crazy to say, but Lynn's been excellent. A couple Jays have hit him, Simeon especially, 8 for 19, 421 average against Lance Lynn. Randall Grichuk has hit him well. Vlad Guerrero Jr., 2 for 5 against him. So There has been some success for some of the Jays against him, so I would lean a little first five under, or first five Blue Jays at a plus price. Take a shot there, but really like the first five under a shot. Yeah,
Right
definitely
back.
Christian Larson. You are absolutely right. Poor Robbie Ray. You're absolutely 100% right about that. He pitched a gem last night. What do you have? 13 strikeouts. Terrific outing, and of course they don't score for him, and the bullpen just gives it up in the last couple of innings. That's a tough one to lose for Robbie Ray last night. Deserved a win, deserved a better fate than that. New York Yankees, Minnesota Twins here. Garrett Cole, who's in the headlines for all the wrong reasons right now, talking about the spin rate controversy. Josh Donaldson of the Twins. That should be interesting when Josh Donaldson's at the plate tonight against Garrett Cole. He's basically called him out and saying, you know what, it sure sounds to me like he's guilty without actually saying it, but he kind of phrased his answer like, what do you think? You know, he's that he's probably involved in this little controversy with the spin rate decline, with the illegal substances, MLB crackdown on some of these banned substances used to gain an advantage. So this is fascinating, and we'll have to see how it affects Garrett Cole. And we're talking about a Garrett Cole that, look, he's been roughed up a little bit. Last time against the Rays, 5 runs, 5 innings of work. So we'll have to wait and see. Can he turn it around? He's facing Randy Dobnak. Yankees are minus 180 road favorites, 8.5 the total in this one. I like the Twins here, first 5. I'm going to sprinkle and a little full game, but especially first 5 here, that Garrett Cole is going to be affected negatively by this whole controversy. And look, he didn't pitch well against the Rays. Last time out, he struggled. And look, Cole is probably going to throw at Josh Donaldson. That is 100% guaranteed. Josh Donaldson's basically saying, you're guilty, you're cheating, without actually saying it when he was asked about Garrett Cole's whole thing. So that could be a little contentious tonight with those two guys. But nevertheless, I'm looking at a situation where Minnesota, I think, is worth a shot here, a little bit at a plus price here. First 5 especially, maybe a little smaller full game. And I like the over, 8.5. Hey, Dobnak's terrible. I'm not going to make any case for him. The Yankees did get their lineup going last night, and Kyle makes a good point there. Yanks won last night, got their offense going. That's why they won. Came back, and they pummeled that Twins bullpen, which isn't any good. So I think the Yankees can score against Dobnak, who's nothing to write home about. They can score against a bad Twin bullpen. And on the flip side, I don't think Cole is going to breeze through this lineup, and I think he could have some bumps in the road. So lots of things I like here. Twins first 5, Twins full game, over 8.5 with this one. What do you think, Connor? Yankees Twins.
Yeah, we'll see about Cole. How I think he's one of the guys like Bauer. There's a few guys that have helped out with all this stuff over the last 2 to 3 years, and they've been able to use it.
Like they've really used their advantage.
Really used it, and their numbers have been
driving force behind their turnaround. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. It's a shot. It's worth a shot. Dobnak is this guy is just the shit list for me. I mean, he is so bad. I can't back him. Dobnak, my guy, 1-5, 6.19 ERA. I just can't do it. But I don't blame you, Ian, for taking a shot here. I think, with Cole, I think the over 8.5, maybe Yankees team total as well, could get over. I think they at least get 3 or 4 off Dobnak. So I think a Yankees team total or a full game over 8.5. I think is a solid look here.
All right, next up, we've got the Cleveland Indians, St. Louis Cardinals, interleague action. Gene Carlos Mejia for the Cleveland Indians, Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals, St. Louis, about minus 115, minus 120, home favorites here at Busch Stadium, 8 the total in this one. I think St. Louis gets well here. I know they've played poorly. They're struggling right now a little bit. I think this is a stop the bleeding, stop the pain mode spot for the Cardinals tonight at home. Wainwright's done his best work at home all season long. We've talked about it. Busch Stadium versus his road ERA this season, night and day. It's much better at home. I think Cleveland, it can be neutralized by him. I mean, he has actually been decent, but and St. Louis is definitely not exactly piling up the runs in the offense right now. But I think the Adam Wainwright's been in these spots before, pitching on a day where his teams lost a few in a row, kind of struggling to find their way. And this is usually when a savvy veteran like him bears down pitches well. So I like the spot. The price is manageable. It's reasonable. I like St. Louis a little bit here. First 5 full game split for me around minus 115 to minus 120. What do you think here, Connor? Cleveland, St. Louis.
Yeah, man, the Cardinals just keep losing at home. It's horrible. This is a stop the bleeding.
Yep.
Wainwright needs to be well. Let's see if he is. His splits have been, he's been so bad on the road and so good at home. He's got to do it tonight. Let's see it with Mejia. He got 3 scoreless against the Orioles. They're seeing if they can get a few more innings out of him. I wish this was a 4.5. Maybe you can find it out there. I lean the first 5 under, 4 at minus 105. Both these teams, like you talked about, they're not hitting great and they don't rip it. Indians got some runs early yesterday with Ramirez, a big 3-run jack. But I lean under the first 5-4 here, and I lean the Cardinals. I know they suck. They're on my shit list, but I still lean them here with Wainwright. At home, I don't know the last time the Cardinals lost 5 in a row at home. I think it's been a while. So I think I'd lean Cardinals here.
All right, lean Cardinals here. Final game now of this Wednesday MLB slate, Kansas City Royals and LA Angels. We've got Griffin Canning, Brad Keller, your pitching matchup. Angels minus 150, home favorites, 9 the total in this one. Well, that's twice I thought the Royals were live underdogs, and that was twice they basically got ripped. So I'm not really rushing to back the friggin' Royals again today. Let me put it that way. But at the same time, Canning is not good right now for the Angels. I mean, I can't justify laying minus 150 with him going into this start. He has not been very good for the LA Angels. He continues to struggle for the most part, and that's putting it mildly. We'll see if the struggles continue for him going into this outing, but definitely not a guy I trust. 5.82 ERA against Seattle last Thursday, 4 runs and 3.1 innings. I definitely think this is a spot for the Angels or for the Royals to do something offensively. I think they'll have some success. But on the flip side, look, the Angels are tearing the cover off the ball the last few games, especially in this series. Their lineup is just potent right now. It's everybody. It's Walsh, it's Fletcher, it's this Max Stassi. Where the hell did this guy come from? He's been absolutely terrific all of a sudden offensively for the LA Angels and just bashing the ball all over the yard right now. Upton's been big. Ohtani's doing his thing. So everybody's stepping up right now in this Angels lineup without Mike Trout. They got to give them credit. Their offense has been good. So I'm thinking over 9 here in this game more than anything. I'm staying off a side. I know Brad Keller has pitched a little bit better lately, but this Angels lineup has really been feasting. And a couple of the guys on this lineup have done good against Keller. Upton, Fletcher, and Walsh combined 5 for 15 against him in the past. So I think we'll see some runs once again tonight with the Royals and the Angels. So no side bet. I'm done with the Royals for now because I don't trust Keller to shut down this hot Angels lineup. But I do think the Royals will score a bit, and I like the game to go over the total. What do you think here, Conor, with the Royals and Angels?
Yeah, fat win. Brad Keller strikeout prop under. All right. Yeah, Royals just look like shit the last few days. The Angels, yeah, I guess you could look. The Angels might disappoint today. I'd probably take their team total over 4.5, and Brad Keller would shut him down. But I'm with you. I wouldn't bet under. At 9 here at even money, I think Canning, I want nothing to do with either of these pitchers. And the more I look at it, and after the last 2 nights, I want nothing to do with this game. But I'd lean full game over with you as well if I were to bet anything in this one.
All right, good stuff. A full game over lean. Yeah, I do like that over with the Royals and the Angels. Two lineups that are hitting. Canning, I absolutely don't trust. And look, even Keller, I know he's pitched better, but the Angel sticks are swinging it right now. So I do think we'll see runs.
ERA's almost 6 too. Both guys.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Great turnout in the chat. I mean, Eric Chang, Sam Calmer, Lance LaRose, James McGinnis, Ryan Dow, Christian Larson, Brian Watson, Kyle Hintley, and everybody down the list. There's other people that watch other shows I do as well that are in this chat. Unbelievable loyalty and dedication. Tune in and check us out every day. Razor Sharp, Cheshire Cat, go on and on down the list. Guillermo Zertucci, that was a nice chat with you in the Discord last night. Absolutely. Benjamin Mills, everybody not applicable. Go on down the list. A great turnout in the chat. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We'll get to a Jack of the Day. We'll get to best bets. Both of those in just a second. Before we do, though, we'll pause for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, there we have it. Manscaped promo code Southtown 101 first. I'll mention them. San Antonio, Texas. When you're in town, check them out. Food, drinks, and live music. Southtown 101, San Antonio. Be there stop in there if you're in town. Manscaped promo code Pub Sports. Lawnmower 4.0 is out there. Brand new product, hot off the presses for Manscaped. So check them out. Use that promo code to get 20% off your purchase with Manscaped. Promo code Pub Sports and mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. NHL and NBA playoffs roll along on a daily basis. MLB as well. We got U.S. Open golf next weekend, Father's Day weekend tradition. Hang out with your pops and watch a Sunday final round of the U.S. Open. It's a great tradition. And also NFL preseason football 2 months away. So it's not too early to think about opening up an account with mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So check them out, mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is time for Conor and I to deliver once again our Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right. Well, I was saying, well, see you later yesterday to my money, putting it on Jesse Winker yesterday. That was disappointing. I really liked that one a lot. And no mas for him yesterday. I'm going to go to Jose Altuve, Houston Astros, that little cheating bugger, as I like to call him. But I do think, he's worth a look today against the Boston Red Sox and Nathan Eovaldi. 2 home runs against him in the past. Jose Altuve for the Houston Astros for my Jack of the Day for this Wednesday. Conor, any home run prop candidates?
Yeah, I'm going to go Jack of the Day, the Dodgers. I'm going to go Max Muncy as my guy. And also, another guy I talked about, Turner, just rips Anderson. Cody Bellinger, too, 4 for 16 with a couple homers off Anderson as well. A couple guys there. And if you look, of course, the Braves, just take a look at some of those stats. A lot of home runs off Eflin, those guys, Freeman, Acuna, all the Swanson. So if you're looking for any, maybe go to that game for a little Jack of the Day, baby.
Yeah, but by the way, someone in the chat, I meant to actually talk about him, the Czar. Thank you for bringing this up. Eric Haas for the Detroit Tigers right now. This guy's on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
He's just a home run machine. I don't even care that he's never faced Flexen. Like, that's the thing. Usually with these home run props, I look at past history against the pitcher. I don't even care that he's never faced Flexen. He is feeling it at the plate right now. He is absolutely worth a home run prop, Jack of the Day. He's worthy of contendership for sure for Jack of the Day today. Eric Haas of the Detroit Tigers against Flexen and the Mariners. Absolutely. I do like that one. I'll be betting that, actually. Eric Haas. So add that one to Jose Altuve as well for Jack of the Day. All right, best bet for today, for this Wednesday slate. Conor, we'll start with you. What do you like for your best bet?
Man, I had a few circled here. I'm going to go with the Bulldog, Lance Lynn, and Manoah. Give me the first 5 under 4.5, minus 120. I hope they pitch real well. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Cash it for me, damn it.
Under 4.5, first 5 innings. Blue Jays, White Sox for Conor Mack for his best bet on this Wednesday MLB card. My best bet, I'm going to go to, let's do a little day game baseball here. Arizona and Oakland. I've talked myself into that over 8.5. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Arizona, Oakland over 8.5. I was on an Oakland team total over as my best bet on the show last night. It cashed. So I had a good result going to these 2 teams in this series. Let's hopefully look for more of the same. This time around, I think Arizona is going to do a lot more damage offensively. I know Manaea is in great form, but he just cannot figure out this team. This team mashes lefties. I mean, incredible numbers the last 10 or to 15 games or so for the Arizona lineup against lefty pitching. I think they do damage. I think Oakland hits. Certainly, they're a starting pitcher for Arizona. Peacock as well. He's not going to pitch deep into the game anyway, and then you got a bad bullpen behind him. So let's go with Arizona, Oakland. Let's see if we can cash a winner before dinner. This is an afternoon affair. Arizona, Oakland, over 8.5, minus 120. That'll be my best bet for this Wednesday card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Conor and I will be back later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific with the NBA Pub Hub. And we'll be joined by Ski Prophet and Dutch Boy Fresh to talk just one game tonight. So it'll be a short show, but we'll dive into it. Side total, props, and more. Denver and Phoenix Game 2 tonight. We will break it down on the Pub Hub in a couple hours. For Conor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday afternoon. We'll see you in a couple hours for the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.